Hey guys, Meira here. Asia is one of those places I've always wanted to properly travel through. I've been to Thailand before, but my dream trip is doing something like the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Singapore, or maybe even Japan. Just going country to country for a few months. Now, whether it's a shorter trip or something longer like that, one thing that becomes really important pretty quickly is having reliable data. Because once you're moving between countries, local SIM cards just don't cut it anymore. So in this video, I'm going to show you one option that's worked really well for me, Saily eSIM. I've used it on multiple trips, and it's made staying connected way easier. So I'll walk you through how it works and whether it's actually worth using for Asia. Now, if you haven't heard of Saily before, it's an eSIM service backed by Nord Security, the same team behind NordVPN. It's built specifically for travelers, and it comes with a bunch of extra features built in, which I'll get into later on in this video. Before you install Saily eSIM, the first thing you'll want to do is make sure that your phone supports eSIMs. Most newer models do, but it's still worth double checking. You'll also want to make sure that your phone is unlocked, meaning it can use an eSIM from any provider. Once you've checked, you can just open the Saily app, pick the Asia and Oceania plan, and choose based on how much data you'll need and how long you'll be traveling for. Plans in many countries start at just a few dollars depending on how much data you need. And they've also recently added this new plan called Saily Ultra, which is more of a subscription costing about $54 a month, and it includes monthly global data plus some added perks. It's really built for digital nomads or people who travel very frequently and don't want to keep buying separate plans for every country. Also, all their plans are prepaid with no contracts, and you earn a little Saily credit back each time. There's no physical SIM card involved, everything's handled digitally, which is really great. Now, after buying your plan, you just install the eSIM through the app or scan a QR code. It takes maybe a minute. Then, once you land, your plan activates automatically as long as data roaming is turned on. You don't have to mess with it again after that. It'll keep working seamlessly across all 19 countries in that region. And if you're thinking about giving Saily a try, I've got an exclusive discount for you. Just use the code GVUTech at checkout when downloading the Saily app or visiting their website. In terms of performance, it's super solid. Saily connects with the top local networks in every country, so you're not stuck with just one provider the whole time, which helps a lot when you're in more remote areas. It's not always the same speeds as you're still relying on the local towers, but the connection is usually much faster and more stable than anything I've gotten from a cheap airport SIM. On average, I've seen speeds around 100 Mbps when the signal's strong, which is more than enough for things like maps, streaming, or hotspotting if you need to work. And because the same plan covers multiple countries, you're not getting kicked offline every time you cross a border. It just keeps running in the background. Now, as I said earlier, Saily includes some security features that protect your data while you're online. So there's a built-in ad blocker, which cuts down a lot of the pop-ups and trackers that normally follow you around. I noticed pages loaded faster, and I wasn't getting hit with a bunch of ads just because I looked something up once. Plus, since fewer scripts are running in the background, it helps you save data as well. There's also something called web protection, which blocks dangerous sites before they can load. That's really helpful when I've had to connect to sketchy public Wi-Fi at airports or cafes, especially when booking hotels or logging into my email. It's just one of those things you don't think about until it stops something bad from happening. And then there's the virtual location routing, which kind of works like a lightweight VPN. It hides your real IP address and gives you a bit more privacy when browsing. Or if you need to access content that's restricted in the country you're visiting. I mean, I've used it to access content from back at home while traveling, and it worked without needing any setup. The app also gives you a heads up when you've hit around 80% of your data, which makes it easy to stay on top of things without constantly checking. Just keep in mind though that Saily is data only, so if you're someone who still makes regular phone calls or sends SMS texts, you'll need to use messaging apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, or Telegram instead. I mean, most people use those apps day to day anyway, so it's not a big deal, but it is something you should be aware of. To sum it up, if you're planning a trip to Asia, Saily makes it way easier to stay connected without the hassle of swapping SIM cards in every new country. It's reliable and super easy to use, and the built-in features like ad blocking, web protection, and virtual location give it a bit of an edge over basic prepaid SIMs. Plus, with prepaid data plans starting at just about $5 and flexible options that go all the way up to unlimited data, it fits pretty much any kind of trip, whether you're backpacking for a week or traveling between cities for a month or more. And again, if you want to try it out for yourself, don't forget you can use my code GBUTech for an extra discount off your first plan. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments section and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.